Greetings, Patrick here. 8 questions with, and welcome to the show. The last one of the week, and we're gonna end it on a high note. As whoa, the last one of the week, and we're gonna end it on a high note. As don't want to do that. Nobody wants to hear that. So yeah, so we're gonna end on a high note. Beautiful fall day here in southeastern Michigan. Our guest tonight is Betty J. Gathers, and she is actually sitting in the green room. So you know the deal. As soon as our guest gets here, we bring them on up. So we'll be talking with Betty for a little bit longer well, I'm glad we are actually. So we talked to Betty a little bit longer. So let me go get her. Welcome to Frog Island.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
expect that.
today honorary in honor of our good friend Erie Frog. Today, this show is taking place from Frog Island.
Oh, God.
Hello,
Okay.
Elaine. How are you? How
Hey,
are you?
Elaine.
That is my friend from the library.
Oh, well, hell, Elaine, you special girl.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. And there's Anthony. Yeah, library got a lot of love this week. I'm glad to say.
Oh,
Uh, uh, yeah, so we had a yeah, it was a lot of fun. Got the whole entire series of the King of Queens, plus a British series called the Saint Tyrian movies, an Alien Blu-ray collection. Yeah, we did pretty good this week. Hey, Jaden, how are you? How are you? See, Anthony says he is went down to the library and he's still writing 2,000 of his memoirs. That's because Anthony's writing about the Yankee season. He's not writing about his memoirs. He's writing about the Yankee season. And Jaden is here. How are you, Jaden? And Jake is here. Jake Hudson, Husdon is here. Glad you are. Glad you are. Wow. This is sort of fun. Whenever I get to have someone like yourself, a good close friend, come on and hang out. Uh, I don't know so much. We're going to be asking so much questions. It's just chilling. I'm thinking. I definitely want to talk to you about your new interview show that you got up and running. Um,
okay.
I think it's awesome. I'm so happy that I've always said that I thought that format would really work for you.
You
Uh,
did.
and I still think not every show, because I'm with you about that. I'm with you about that.
Yeah.
I thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think once out of one a month with a
Okay,
co-host,
that could work.
and I'm sure Frog can make it once a
That could work. That could work. That
because
could.
you guys you know what? It's funny because you know what's funny about that is there's a new podcast just got up and running.
Mm-hmm.
Talking movies with Sean and Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
And those guys are really good together. They're really good. Uh, they love movies. They can talk for hours. And there's this new cat that came on. His name is Jim, and Jim is he's hitting all the right buttons. He's got a great collection. He's knowledgeable. He's got a good voice, but he needs to quit smoking. Uh, but he's got a good voice. He's got a good radio voice. Um, and I thought, you know what? I'm watching those guys, all three of them, and I'm going, oh man, those three need to be together. That's a threesome right there. That's not because they were going to interview him. I'm going like interview him nothing, give him a job, make him a co-host. So today I went ahead and I was floating around, and all of a sudden I see on my bell notification bell, bing, and there's a special announcement that Jim is now part of their show. That's right. That's right. It's gonna be a good show to watch too, because they're about our age. Jim's about our age. I think Kenny and Sean are a little bit younger than we are. But when you hear them, but you just know that they were gonna click. You know what I'm saying? It's just like as soon as they started talking together, you saw the interaction. You're going like, that's magic. And it's like that with you and Frog. I mean, whenever you of all the people you've had on the show, and you've had quite a few on, You don't
Hmm.
you don't click with anybody else like you do with the frog.
I think Geeky Girl may be another one.
Maybe, but I
She'll
mean,
be
as
on
far
in a
as
couple of weeks.
but I'm talking about this just overall lightness and fun, making people laugh. You and Frog hit it out of the park. Um, I know you, and you know, I was telling you, says you're gonna interview Frog, and then he said, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And then what happened to that when you
Oh,
interviewed Frog? What happened when you interviewed Frog?
what do you mean? What happened? I didn't really interview him.
Did- now,
That's what happened.
now, what time were you sitting there drinking coffee and you're going like, yeah, this is not an interview. This is
I
a,
knew it wasn't going to be an interview. I knew that from the beginning. He knew that from the beginning that it wasn't going to be an interview. It was just chit chatting and talking like old times. Yeah, I knew
yeah.
it was going to be an interview.
I was there for longer than you thought.
Uh huh.
I was there. I was I got up early and I was been working on the calendar and filling the holes up and then what happened too is I went to go to actually I went last weekend and I went to go to the grocery store and I come out of my house and I'm getting inside my car and I look up and I noticed that there's this massive, massive like patch of dead leaves. The rest
Mm-hmm.
of my shrubs is the rest of the shrub is alive as well, but there's this patch of dead leaves and it's leaning against the house. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Because because like I pay attention to these things. So
Mm-hmm.
I go over there and I'm going like, oh wow, okay, this looks dead. So I grab my handsaw and I go in there and I start cutting it. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
then I noticed that when I was cutting it, when I was trying to pull it closer to me, I
Mm-hmm.
noticed there was no resistance. So I'm pulling and going like, oh, and then I thought this thing looks like I could just pull it all the way out. So I get my car, I put my car on the street, and I come back and I walk up there at Betty Jean and I grab that branch and I pulled it out. And sure hell enough, that's what happened. It had fallen off a part of a dead tree. Well, it's supposed to be dead anyway. It had actually been growing there, and then it died, and then it cracked and it fell off.
Mm-hmm.
So I pulled that thing out. I pulled it out. I'm like, oh my god, it's a big ass piece of that's a big ass piece of branch there. So I could bring out my handsaw, and in my city, they pick up yard waste. If you have a bundle of branches, you have to bundle them and you bundle them up and then they'll take them, they'll come by and pick them up. So I had bought some twine from Lowe's just for that purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So I get the twine out and I clip up I do 4 strips and then I get busy on this branch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so out of shape, so out of shape, my ass was gassed.
I bet.
It was gassed. I'm cutting it off, I cut about like a third. I think
Mm-hmm.
I cut 2 bundles, which is about a third. Tomorrow I go back out there, and I think because I only did 2 bundles because I didn't want to overload it. You know, I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to there like leave it all there. You know, I could have cut the whole thing off, but I don't know if they would actually took the whole thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want it to be just leaving there. So
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow I'll get out there and I'll just chop it up. I'll make 2 more bundles, and then 2 more after that, and then in 2 weeks it'll be gone. But man, I was just out there hacking away, and I'm going like, I am gassed. I was so sore this week. And you, on the other hand, you've been walking.
Yep.
When did you start walking?
About 9 weeks ago. I started 9 weeks ago.
Man, man. I miss it. I actually believe it or not, I actually love walking.
Well, you gotta put one foot in front of the other. That's
Yeah,
all you gotta do. Is put that was hard now. I ain't gonna lie. It was
yeah, but
hard. It was hard.
it is hard. It is hard when you walk solo. It is
Yeah.
easy.
No,
It is.
I love solo.
Oh, really? I love walking.
I walk with some people. This other girl, we work perfect. We'll walk a little part of the way and then we'll separate. I love walking by myself.
Great Scorpion just walked through the door. All right,
Scorpion.
all right, all right. Always a great supporter. Always a great.
Hmm.
Um, But see, now your walks are different from mine. See, I can actually go out for a walk and not worry about a damn thing. Not,
Mm-hmm.
not a damn thing. I could just, you down in Florida, so you got to dodge the alligators. You got to dodge the seagulls. You got to dodge the iguanas. You got to dodge the pythons. You got to dodge the rattlesnakes. What else do you have to dodge?
Oh, I learned the sea otters in there. I ain't
Sea
seen them
otters.
yet.
The otters are big.
I want to get. I was somebody said sea otter. I said wait.
Yeah, sea otters are big, and they can be a little aggressive too.
That'd be a great short. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean,
Andre,
hey Andre, how are you? How are you? Our,
yeah,
that's right, our favorite Kiwi in the house,
that's right. That's
New
right.
Zealand in
New
the house, representing.
Zealand.
Uh, uh, let's see.
Oh no, I ain't got
You
no
know,
cat. I ain't got no cat. I ain't got no. Ain't gonna get no cat. Ain't getting none. Had to
yeah,
get mad. Them
that,
cats jump everywhere. If that cat jump up on my kitchen counter, it will be a flat cat. Look at him.
mhm. That's because you believe all that anti-cat propaganda.
I have. I was raised with cats.
Uh-huh. I don't believe that.
Yes, it was. I was raised with cats.
I'm not believing that. I think you're pulling a Trump on
My
me.
oldest son has cats. My oldest
Uh-huh.
son loved cats. We had
Okay.
cats when they was growing up.
Uh, oh, speaking of that, there goes Jim walking through the door. We just got done talking
Thanks
about
for
Jim, and he
coming,
just walked through
Jim.
the door. Yes, you will watch the replay because we talked about you. Don't tell him what we talked to him about it though. He'll have to come back to the replay to watch it. That's a good thing to do. Just tell someone you're gonna um see cats are delicious and nutritious. Wow. Wow. He went there with me. Wow. Well, at least I can tell. At least I can tell. I can tell Sean and Kenny. At least they got to. They say that Jim was a host for one day. I'm not sure what's going to happen going forward, but uh, no, actually, we were hyping you up, but now I'm going to be hyping you down. I'm going to tell everybody to go over your channel and ask for a review of Dirty Dancing. That So go over to Jim's channel, sub to his channel, then ask her what does he think about Dirty Dancing, and then stand back and let the excitement flow.
Mm.
What's one movie that you absolutely hate that you just can't stand? But like
Oh,
if you see it come on, yeah, when you see it come on, you're going like,
that
no,
Oprah movie. You know
huh?
which one I'm talking. Oprah movie. Well, I can't think of the name. It was awful. That was the
Oh,
worst.
Color Purple.
No, what's it? It was where. Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't think of it.
Yeah, but how
It's
many movies has
not.
Oprah done?
Huh?
How many movies has Oprah actually done?
Not well. She did. She did some Bruce's Place. She's
Okay,
done some other. Why I can't think. That was the worst movie. I need
man,
to ask my husband. Y'all know that Oprah movie that flopped. Oh my god! I'm gonna have to go over here. I
you know what?
got.
I forgot to ask Jim this. We know that how much he loves Dirty Dancing, or maybe not. But what about Dirty Dancing Havana Nights, Jim? Is that a yay? I mean, Dirty Dancing Havana Nights is that a better one?
Beloved,
Oh, you love
beloved.
it, you love it. Okay,
Oh, that was 1998. That was the worst. And she didn't know why people didn't like it. Girl, we ain't understood it. I still don't understand it till this day.
yeah, you just crushed it right there, man. You just took Oprah's hopes and dreams and just like crushed it.
I hope so, but she
I,
don't never
I've
do
never,
no more like that.
I actually have never seen Oprah act before. Because
Oh, okay, good.
I have
Oh,
not,
I had to fight all my life. I didn't think I was going. Yeah, but that movie was a flop. Mm-mm.
yeah, I never saw the original Color Purple.
Oh, I seen them. Oh, yeah, I seen Color Purple. I
I,
loved
I
it.
know, I know that was her, I know that was the big movie that she did, but I never
Not.
watched it.
Oh yeah,
Right?
she had a part in it. Yeah, she had a
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like the new one. I like the old one. They shouldn't
I
even.
got the
I
new
know
one.
the new one was a musical, but I didn't like.
Right. I
I
don't. You know
didn't
what?
think they cast well.
I
That's what
don't
I
think it,
think.
I didn't think it would transfer very well either because I'm thinking that's a really serious movie. I mean, it's a real serious movie, and I don't know why, but I think make it a musical out of a drama. If you want to do comedy, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, some some musicals are oh snap,
Yeah, I see him.
just we walked in Frog
I
Island.
see him. He wasn't gonna miss it, honey.
I know that. There he is. Welcome to Frog Island. We're your hosts, Betty and Patrick. What's going on, Frog? Frog's here. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate it, man. Congratulations. That's gonna be a fun show to watch. Watching you guys pop it up. That's gonna be a lot of fun. That that's talking movies with Kenny, Sean, and now Jim. So that'll be every other Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. On wow, on all sorts of channels. Actually, I think they have I think it's on 2 or 3 different channels. So yeah, uh, yeah, Frog. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. We were talking about you earlier too. Uh, yeah, I don't know what the transition from like I know some musicals come out like Chicago or Phantom of the Opera or A Day in the Park with George with Georgie. I mean they're designed to be musicals. They're musicals. That's what they are. They're from the very beginning. They're conceived as musicals. Les Mis Morale, Les Mis. Uh, but I don't know if movies that you take like they're doing this with Joker too. I suppose we're supposed to be making sort of like a musical. I'm not so sure you could take a drama, comedy, yes, romantic comedy, yes. I'm not sure if you could take a drama, especially something as heavy as A Color Purple, and translate it into a musical.
Mm.
I just don't know if it could be done.
I think it was more the casting. Now, who was great was Fantasia and Taraji. Taraji did her thing. Yeah,
Yes,
that Taraji.
Rocky always delivers. You know,
Still
I don't
alive.
know why. I honestly, honest to hell, I don't know why she's not a leading lady.
Hmm.
I'm seriously,
Sometimes it just happens that way.
because she's absolutely gorgeous. And
Sometimes it happens that way. You just
the,
don't
the,
make it to
uh,
the promised land.
but she's stunning. I mean, she's a beautiful woman. And I sitting there and I watched her in Person of Interest, and I became a huge fan. Love that. Love the show. Loved her in it. Carter, Joss Carter. And then they killed off her character, and man, that's just like they did. And she was a team player. She said, I knew it was gonna happen. No, I don't they might have talked about it, but I mean, oh, I just hated it. Everybody hated it. And that was actually the start of that show, downward spiral. When they killed her, it killed it for a lot of people. It sort of did me too. I watched it and then they started killing off all the all the supporting characters, and I just checked out for the last year and a half. I was like, wow, I don't every character I get vested in, every character you come to care about, they're killing them off. So why am I watching it? If I wanted to see that, I could just watch my local news. Um,
Hmm.
it says y'all are too famous. Oh, he's talking about you
Uh,
because he said that y'all. He
I
said
don't
y'all.
know. Yeah, past 8 o'clock. I know I'm famous.
He says superstar. Superstar Betty, his bestie. Oh, Frog,
Uh,
Frog, Frog is paying respect. What's going on? What'd you do today, Frog?
he hopped and he leaped.
Yeah, yeah. I was going to ask you if you're going to talk to him about Sage. They say
I
everybody.
thought you had told him about it.
I told him a couple. I sent him a couple.
Well, he
So
knows about Sage then.
they say everybody has a twin. Everybody has a twin, and we found Frog's twin. Or I
Yeah, if
said,
I was him, I'd be rolling all over that hotel sidewalk.
me too. I'm thinking, I can't wait.
I'd be rolling all over that sidewalk, honey.
I going like, man, Frog needs to do this, man. He needs to get himself a bike or a skateboard, and he needs to go ahead and do some parkour like this guy's doing. This guy's got tens of thousands of followers. Going like, Frog could do that stuff in his sleep. Are you kidding me? Yeah. I mean, those guys could be twins. I was just amazed by that the first time I saw him. I'm like, that looks like Erie. And then I watched it and I said it to you. I said, who do you think this is? And you come back and go like, that's Frog. I'm going, okay, so I'm right. So yeah. Um, have you seen anybody that you're close to or know, or friends with? Have you seen like a doppelganger on the YouTube? See anybody look like, I mean, like that? No,
Like who?
that was my only one too, but she's
Mhm.
hilarious.
Mm.
Um, so why did you do what made you decide to do the interview thing?
Just something different.
Because you've done so much. Your YouTube channel is fire. You do a Monday morning get up at 9:30.
Mhm.
A lot of people show up, um, and everybody shows up and hangs out for an hour and a half, an
You
hour.
talking about Wednesday?
Oh, I thought you were doing it on Monday. I know thought the interview was Wednesday, but I thought you were doing just a regular.
Oh, I just got one show on Wednesday.
I don't know. I see you pop up all the time. You pop
Yeah,
up more than
I'll do a pop up, but I got one show.
I was about ready to start calling you MC Popcorn because every time I turn around, you're popping up.
I'll
What's
do
the
a pop up.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I did that the weekend. I might have
Pop
been.
secret.
Yeah,
Uh,
pop
what,
up.
now, 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 how do you decide how do you decide who you're gonna have on the show? Are you just doing the same thing I did when I first started? Was
Yeah.
just grab
Grabbing whoever.
that will
Come on,
change.
come on,
That
come on in.
that will change. I'll give it about another month.
Mm-hmm.
After that, you won't have any problem getting anybody on.
Mm-hmm.
They'll come on.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, I was just wondering because you did that because you work shorts, um, and I know I gotta do that more. But you work shorts. I mean, you know how to work this YouTube game. I mean, other than Tuber Chat, I think you're probably the one that I know that has worked it better than anybody.
Mm.
Think about it. If I think about it, I
Oh.
think yeah, I think you're well on your way to 2,500 subs. You're just every time I turn around, it's like another 100. Oh, wasn't she at 22? Oh no, she's at 20. Oh, she's going at 24. Okay. Um, yeah, people seem to really seem to like what you're setting down. Why do you think that is? What do you think to success? What's the secret to your success?
I think when you're good at something, you're good at something. And my shorts, I'm just good at it. So when you know, and it's not being cocky, you just know when you're good at something, you're good at something. That's just the bottom line. And some stuff like today, I knew one wasn't going to do that well. However, I put up two today because I knew that was the other one was going to fall. So I can tell what's going to go and what's not. But what I loved about it, people watched it. The 11 people that watched it, they watched the whole thing and then half watched it again. So I
Hmm.
was happy about that. So that's saying it's good. It's just
Right.
YouTube saying I ain't sliding it out there. That's all. They slide it out there to be all right. And I wasn't sure about what they're going to, and they didn't slide it. I know how when they take it off the shelf, I do know how to get it put back on the shelf. You learn everything as you go along. But so I got it put back on the shelf tonight. So I wanted to see how it goes.
What do you mean by on the shelf? Like you take it down and reload it?
No. Oh no, you should never do that. Oh no, I would never do that. YouTube don't want you to do that either.
No. No.
No, I just know how to do it.
Oh, she's gonna keep it. She's gonna keep that to the vest.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's no problem though. Uh, how does it feel then when because you talk about the tube a lot? And
YouTube.
yeah, you talk about the
Yeah,
tube a
I
lot.
love talking about YouTube.
And there's a lot of people. I think it's one of the secrets is that I think you're sort of I think you're really relatable, and I think what really helps out a lot too is when they see when because there's a lot of old timers on YouTube. There really is. There's
Mhm.
TikTok maybe for the young kids, but
Uh-huh.
but YouTube's probably for us.
Uh-huh.
Um, hey, Mr. Dan, how are you? He's saying hello. Living life by design. Good evening, everybody.
Lydia.
All right,
You should
all right.
see her. You think I'm cute? Honey, Lydia. She just
Uh huh. Is
just
this gonna be a future? Is this gonna be a future guest on your talk show?
I'm sure she will, but she works. But
Mm,
she has the show coming out on Friday night. Let me tell you, us women, when we get there,
mm-hmm.
it be popping. I missed it. I honestly forgot it. I wanted to cry. I want to be with them women on fresh. It's like one Friday a month.
I know that show. That's the show you told me. You told me about that show. Did you
Yeah,
say it was called the Hen House or something like that?
the hen house. What hen house you talking about?
Yeah, a bunch of chicks.
No, it wasn't a hen house. It's a bunch of women that we get, and men could come too. Hey, VS.
Hey,
I'm up
VS, how
past
are
8
you?
o'clock, VS, honey. This don't happen all the
Oh, now
time.
I know who that is. That's the young lady who keeps track of the royal family.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
does. Was on my show one time. She said normally she don't give interviews. And let me tell you, VS, you have been the Warmstrong may no Warmstrong may been as early as you. She was early, she was ready, and she was prepared, and she was even having a stressful day.
And you got her to
And
come on
she
your show and
came
talk to you.
through. She came through, and her people, they just, honey, they just boop, 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 boop. That was the most people I have. I think I had over 1,000 and something that time. That was because of her. Yep.
1,000 people in your chat or 1,000
A
views.
thousand, after it was over, it went up to over a
Right.
thousand.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's really fun when you
Yeah.
get when you get an interview like that. It goes like a
Yeah.
me.
And it was
I'm always happy with 100. Still, I'm still happy. If I get 100, I'm a happy man. I'm a happy camper. Because you know what it is. It's like it doesn't really matter about the view counts. We're just happy to talk to somebody. That's really what it really is. We're just curious. It's like, okay, what'd you have for dinner tonight? I don't know. Well, tell us. How did you make it? Uh, yeah. So who does cook in your house now?
we don't cook sometime. I cook more than my husband. My husband used to cook a lot. He was
Hmm.
the cooker, but now if there's something like today, I did cook. So yeah,
Oh,
I
thank you
did.
very much, BS.
Thank you, VS. Thank you
Uh,
so much.
who's your favorite royal person?
Who talking to me?
I was talking to her. It's like
Oh,
which of the royalties your favorite?
Princess Diana for me. Huh? Gonna
Really?
always be Princess Diana and her son, Harry.
I love that Meghan Markle, man. She's gorgeous. Meghan Markle.
Who?
That's Meghan Markle. Markle.
Oh,
Yeah. I think she married Prince Harry.
yeah, she
Um,
did. She
yeah.
did. She
Yeah.
did. Ah, 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 ah.
I was
She
telling somebody
did.
about that. I was thinking about that too. I'm like, well, I know. I have like have one memory when Princess Kate got married. It,
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly where I was that day.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first day that Lorianne got chemotherapy. So
Mm-hmm.
we were sitting at the hospital in Ann Arbor, and she was getting married, and they're all the nurses and all the patients are sitting there talking about the dresses and the hats and everything else. I'm just sitting there watching I mean, they had like two different TVs out there, and
Mm-hmm.
they were all watching it. I was too cool for that. I was like, no, I can't. I don't know if I can watch because I saw Princess Diana get married.
Mm-hmm.
I got up for that, and
Mm-hmm.
because everybody could relate to Princess Diana. She was the most public princess I've ever seen. I mean, of all the people I've seen in the royals, whether it been, Princess Grace or
Mm-hmm.
she was the princess of the people,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just a real damn shame what happened to her. I remember where I was at when that happened too. In fact,
Mm-hmm.
I was at a dance in
Mm-hmm.
Pleasant Hill, California,
Mm-hmm.
and announced it on the radio about 9:30 at night that she had been killed in a car crash in France.
Mm-hmm. I
Paparazzi.
can't remember. I can't usually moments like that is defining moments. I can't for some reason for hers. Like I even was talking about President Kennedy. I was in fourth grade. Teacher came in crying. That's how I learned that. Robert Kennedy at nighttime. I was home. So those are just defining moments, parts
Pope
of
John Paul
history.
got shot. I remember my teachers in high school were crying because they were crying about the Pope getting shot.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
About the Pope.
I was in high school when that happened.
I forgot about him being shot.
Oh,
I can't remember.
isn't it interesting how, I mean, it's one thing too. It's like it felt a little weird yesterday, though I'm super happy and I wouldn't have changed anything for it. But yesterday, I had Mika and Kira from Double Feature Podcast come on, and super those
Yeah, they're
twins,
cute.
they're yeah, they're amazing. Um, but I was actually aware of 9/11. Being at 9/11,
Hmm.
felt a little
There
weird.
you go right
Oh,
now. They
look
just
at
popped in.
the ears were burning.
Yes, they just popped in.
I had to have them on because I had so many questions for them. So I'm like, but I did feel I don't. Kevin's here. Tuber Chat's here. Hey, Kevin, how are you?
Yeah, hello.
Good to see you drawing all the celebrities tonight.
Yeah, the celebrities is in the
Wait a
house.
minute, where's Frog at? The frog. You know,
He's still
where's
here. He's still here.
good, good. Don't let the frog hop out of here.
There he is. He ain't going nowhere.
That's right. That's right.
He
Uh,
ain't
but
going
I
nowhere.
sit there. I was like doing the show, and I booked the show knowing it was 9/11. I knew that. It's like I'm like I said, I didn't have any problems at all doing it, but I was thinking about it. I was watching some of the videos during that day, and
Hmm.
man, that was just I can remember that like it was yesterday.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that one stays with me.
Which
Maybe
one? The
because
Pope?
9/11.
Oh, 9/11.
Maybe because maybe
Oh, oh, yeah, I know where I was with that. Yeah, I forgot about that one. That's yeah.
it was
I know
yesterday.
exactly who
Yeah.
called, who told me. My sons both were in the service at that time.
Mm,
One was in
yeah.
Hawaii, and I don't know if the other one was in boot camp. I can't remember, but I know both my sons was in. I'm like, and I called my son in Hawaii, and they had not told them yet. And when I told him, he went to just yelling, yeah, you could just hear all the guys, what? Huh?
Right.
They went
Yeah. It would have been
crazy in
still
there.
morning. It would have been
Huh?
really. It would have been early in the morning.
Yeah, but they didn't know.
Because
They
they're 6. I think they're 6 hours behind us.
they didn't know. When I
Yeah.
called, that's all I know. It's like everybody went to screaming in there because they thought they were going to war.
Uh, Pete just walked through the door. Hello, Pete. How are you? Glad you're here. Uh, uh, Man, this is starting to look like a show either on Tuber Chat or on your channel, Betty.
Yeah, but everybody, yeah, because I don't never be nowhere after 8 o'clock. Only for Tuba Chat once in a while if he late and I wake up to go to the bathroom and I see him.
Yeah,
I'll pop in.
I know there was no Tuber Chat today. I saw that in our group. Someone posted Tuber Chat's not on today. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, that was me
Kevin
asked
must be
Pete.
working like a dog today.
I
Uh,
can't imagine him working in construction. He just looks like a computer guy.
yeah, but he's out there busting,
I know, but I
showing
can't
off those
believe it. I
showing off those
know I
Canadian
can't.
maple.
Our construction men make good money, and I ain't got nothing against construction men. But
Hmm.
Kevin just look like a, you know,
No, I know. What do you mean?
computer guy. That's what
Uh,
he looked like. Ah,
See,
that,
look, see, like Pete's got Kevin being a computer guy. You know what though? Honestly, I did too because I heard because he has his background as being a DJ, and I'm going like, okay, so
yeah, I'm
yeah,
surprised at
like
that too. He know music too. I'm like, you go.
oh yeah, let me do that here
Oh,
real
you
quick.
know what? Hey,
Hold on.
Kevin, you still spray that stuff in your hair to stiff it up? Your hair ain't stiff up like it used to be. It was cute. You need to stiffen it back up. Hey,
Uh,
double
what
teacher,
what
I
did
loved
what,
y'all last night, and then I'm gonna shut up.
what did you have you thought about doing product reviews? Have you done those before on your
You know what? I'm not sure what honestly. Okay, the shorts work for me. You know that works for me. My once a week live works for me. My vlogging, for some reason, I know I got to change it up. Sometimes you just got if it ain't working. But YouTube used to push my stuff out a lot, but they're not really pushing it out. So I guess I got to go look at my old ones. I think I'll do better with talking heads. I think that. I think
I really, I just do the films. I don't, I know some people do they review products, like a lot of the van lifers
yeah,
will be, they'll showcase things that you need in your van, or
yeah,
Kevin does a lot of tech.
yeah,
Nora does a lot of scratch off
mm,
tickets, like Pete does, I'm going to drop a link here, folks, to Mika and Kira's channel. If you have not subbed to Double Feature Podcast, please take a moment and slide on over there
yeah.
and tag that.
Is that the
Uh,
cutest little things?
they are.
I'm
They
like, no.
are. We got three last night. We got three. We got them three subs last night. I think we can get a few more tonight. I'm looking at fresh faces in the chat. I see Tuber there. I see Pete. I see Frog. You guys can all slide on over there, and you guys know what to do. Hop
You
to
know
it,
what
Frog.
to do.
Leave,
You
leave.
know what to do.
Look at Frog's already over there. He's already like, Kevin, get over there and sub. Frog's on fire. And thank you for that too, folks. I appreciate that. Yeah, have you thought about doing product placements? I mean, product
I don't
reviews.
know which to honestly. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I
That's
don't
that's
know.
that's the bar. I don't know if I'm gonna go back to vlogging. I put it on hold for a month, so I got to decide what I want to do because that's always been up in the air, really. But just saying, like I got more numbers on my older ones, so I need to go back and look at my older ones and see what I was doing. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I gotta
Mm.
figure it out too, but it's like when you get that niche, right? When you get the niche like Pete, like like everybody's in
Well,
all of Pete.
everybody when
Oh
they
my,
niche down
but,
because you can concentrate on that.
I mean, even Pete, even Kevin will comment on that and during tour chat, he'll sit there and say when Pete's on, on Tuesday, he's got more action going on in his scratch off than Tuber Chat has in his. I mean, it's like, and that's impressive because Kevin he can track 35 to 45 people in that room, and there has been times when I walked in for Pete, and there's been like it's ticked over 40, and boy, and they're not even kidding you. That thing absolutely flies. I only know one. Well, actually, I've never been inside VS's chat, so I've
Oh
never been over there. Now,
yeah.
I only know one other chat that I know that absolutely just flies. Like there's so many people in there, and I can't even keep up. And that's my friend Monique, and that's it.
Yes, you could just forget it.
Oh my gosh. I I don't. People always say, "Yeah, I really want that. I really want that," and all of a sudden it's like all of a sudden it does happen, right? All of a sudden, like when you and I talked about this, we talked a lot. We talked a lot off camera, but we always talk about like what would happen if we get like like if we get like 15 to 20 people in our chat. That was like huge for us. When I first started out doing this, I was getting that before I took my first break. I was actually getting 12 to 15 people every night. And but I took my first break and then it sort of petered off. But you yourself though, and Ava too, Ava Potterfield. I gotta give a shout out to Ava. She's on Mondays and Wednesdays, and she's right before you. She goes in at 9, and you go on at 9:30. Um, but you go over the you guys' channel now, and there's like 20, 25 people in there.
To who? Not mine.
No, and yours.
Her.
Oh, there's been times over I walked over there and you got between 20
Yeah,
over.
but that's so. You know what? One time, I think I talked to Kevin. It's not important for honestly. I I I want people to come because they want to come. The
They
number
do.
count isn't. It doesn't have
Doesn't
to be
matter.
a big number.
But
You
they're
know,
not
I
there.
don't. It doesn't have to be a big number.
They don't
And
care about numbers. They only care because you're there and they're having a good time. You know,
yeah,
like when you see the chat talking among themselves, right?
yeah,
When
it talked a
talking,
lot on
yes,
Wednesday. Ooh, that
mm,
chat thing was way. I'm like, God, no. It really, and they talk more when I talk about YouTube. That's when
yeah.
people talk. When
I
I
was
talk
hearing,
about YouTube, they talk. People really don't know. I keep telling you, people they know the outs, but they don't know the behind. So when you get to talking, that's what they want to hear.
let's see. I'm gonna go to the chat real quick because everybody's saying hi to
Yeah,
everybody.
you know.
Algorithm on YouTube is so tricky. It really is. Yes, trying to find a niche that's unique to yours is key. You ladies will have it easily enough.
But
I
can
will
I
say
say
this.
one thing?
Hmm.
The algorithm to me is not tricky. You're if you're good, YouTube gonna push you out there. I'm telling people if you good, even though you can think you good, but when they think you good, it only take one video and it will sweep you right on out there. It ain't nothing about nothing tricky. I'm sorry, it ain't nothing tricky. If you good,
Well, one good thing about Mika and Kira, which is why their channel it will take off for them. And I always say this. I really hope it doesn't come across as sexist because it really isn't. It's just a fact. From I've been here for almost 5 years. Like for horror movies, whenever a woman does a horror movie channel, it does really well. It does. They do really well because there's not that very many of them, and
mm,
guys get tired of listening to guys talk.
mm,
I mean, honestly, if I wanted to watch, if I wanted to listen to somebody talk about horror movies, I really want to listen to Mika and Kira or DeRay. I really want to hear, or Ashley from Sledgehammer Horror or Gory. I really, I want to listen to Haley. Um, and it's refreshing because because this is a male oriented community, the community that I'm in. Even though I don't really consider myself a horror channel anymore, um, I consider myself an interview channel. But if you're a horror channel, it's not very many at all. There's not very many, and so when it does happen, it takes off, and that's a good
mm,
thing. I think that's positive.
mm,
I don't think it's just because it only happens because they're girls. No, it happens because they are girls.
mm,
You know, it happens because they have a fresh voice, they have a fresh point of view, and
Oh, they're young.
they'll talk about movies a different way than men will. Most women I know that talk about movies, the first thing you talk about a horror movie is with a guy as they're talking about they're talking about the killings, and the woman will talk about the characters.
Mhm,
Dead serious. Now I know this because me and Betty we talked about some movies before when you came on the Midnight Society. When we talked about John Wick, we weren't talking about all the shoot 'em ups. We were talking about the characters.
mhm,
So that's really refreshing. It's really refreshing to hear. And But as far as finding a niche goes, man, now that's one thing. If anybody could market that, they could take over YouTube.
I think some people find they find it. You know, some of us can't find it, but some people do. But like I say, you're either good or you're not. That's just the bottom line. I don't care what nobody say. You're either good. You could think you good, but you too got to think you good.
Well, I think for a lot of us, it's like it has to go back down to like it's taken me a while to and I have to go back. Part of it too is sometimes when you're on there for a long time, like for me, I know that there's a lot of my content is properly tagged. Like I have 20 tags up. It's like I know that. Like I have where there's comments that are not answered. Once in a while I'll find that. I'll find an interview that I've done, and it'll have like 10 comments that I never answered. That stops me in my tracks. That hurt that show. Because I didn't take care of business. I have too many tags. I didn't go in and remove that the show starts at. That doesn't need to be there after the show's over with. There's so many things that we could do to do channel maintenance. I think a lot of
Mhm,
people don't do channel maintenance, and they just air it out and they forget it.
mhm,
They,
mhm,
they release it and forget it.
mhm.
And I don't fire and
Yeah,
forget, I guess you could call it.
mhm,
I'm gonna post it and forget
yeah.
it and on to the next
And
one.
a lot of times, I tell people not to listen because I listen to people. I'm a little stubborn, just a little bit. But do
Oh,
what
oh
works for
wow!
you.
I would have never guessed that.
I'm telling y'all, do what works for you. I've had people tell me not to talk about depression. I've had people say I talk too much about YouTube. I've had, different. If I'm
All right.
if I'm depressed, I'm gonna talk about depression. Okay,
Okay.
that's just the bottom line. So,
I saw what you
um,
did there.
yeah, do what you love. Do what works for you, so you
Uh,
can just.
okay, so I was the one that said that about the YouTube. I said every time I come over there, see, I knew you were going to try to get me over on that. I knew it. I knew it. I'm going like, how long will it take before she mentions that? Some people tell me not to talk about the tube so much. And I know that's coming. Well, what I meant to say for that is like when new people come to channel, this is something. Now, this is something I feel like I do have an advantage of. But there are some people that when you go to their channels, they are indeed doing the same thing over and over and over. For a long time viewer, like if I go to your channel, I know for sure 9 out of the 10 times that I go to your channel, you'll talk YouTube. But
Mhm,
that's because I've been there for years. I
mhm.
know your channel. But for the new people that come
Not
here,
even new. I'm telling even older ones do not know YouTube. I'm
what?
telling you, when I talk, that's why I talk about it all the time because my chat talks back and forth. So there is an interest in that.
And to talk about the same
Yeah,
thing we talked about
YouTube,
the day
they love
before.
to talk. They ask
Hmm.
questions. That's one of the chatters. Them lines go way up.
Yeah, because I watched the interaction, and I'm going like, okay, there's a lot of people here, but haven't they already heard this? Because you do talk about it quite a bit, and that's like I said, it's not a bad thing. It's just like when I come in, maybe it's me, maybe I come in and going like, okay, I've heard about this, before. On
Maybe you aren't one of my BJ fans.
Oh, what? Oh boy.
Woo!
Oh, all right.
And that don't hurt my feelings.
Oh, I.
That
Mm,
don't even hurt my they ain't my
mhm,
fan. That's what
mhm.
it is. Yeah.
Um,
And some days I
see
could
how
be
this.
talking about other stuff
Mhm.
and some people don't say nothing.
Do people
So
get upset
I have
when
to chatter.
do
I
people
have
get
to keep
upset? Do
I have
people really do get upset when you talk about depression?
who? Somebody told me I talked about it too much.
What?
Yeah. Somebody told me I talk about it too much.
I don't. You know what? I do know a channel that they have Wellness Wednesday. My friend Crystal,
Yeah.
lady electrician, and I know her and her friend Jamie. They do a Wellness Wednesday, and they talk about mental health and depression and what have you. And and she said the same thing. She says some people come up there and said that about well, you can't talk about it every week, and I'm going like, well, why not? If that's what they're comfortable with and that's where they feel their expertise is at, why not go with what you know?
Hmm.
I, I
But
just I just feel
mhm.
like if you're going to be on there, I think if you're going to be on there more than one, doing more than one live a week, yeah, it'd be fun to change it up a little bit. Like when you were Frog, when you were
No
with Frog,
more than one live a week. Mm-mm.
huh?
Now that's one thing I know. I ain't doing one live more than that. Now I'll do pop-ups, but
Mm-hmm.
one live a week is it. It, it, it.
Let's see. It says here, many of your subbies are content creatures also, Betty.
Mhm. Yeah, she wrote it wrong. That's what she she
Oh, no need to correct that. No need to correct that about the creatures because they're content creatures. Oh snap! Okay, uh, yeah, that should be. You know what? Yes, that's a T-shirt right there. Let's see, content creators, not creatures.
Mhm.
I don't know. I
Maybe
love.
she meant creatures. Shoot.
I mean, that's hilarious.
Maybe- maybe.
What,
But
what
you
do you
know,
think?
it's some stuff you were born to do. And I know people in the chat would agree with me. And that's why I say with shorts, that's made, those are made for me. Because if I can use my talking head and get
Mhm.
over 10,000 people and no music, no background, no nothing. So that's good because people are listening. So I told you I did the one on the Negro. The night was, and I knew it wasn't gonna do good. Negro girl from the past has something to say. Please listen.
Mhm. Yeah.
However, it didn't get that many views, but they looked at it at a time and a half. So I caught their attention, but I didn't catch YouTube attention.
Yeah, I'm not sure you'll catch attention by YouTube with that word.
You
Because
don't
certain words,
know. You
yeah, words,
never
there's certain
know.
words,
You
like
never
what?
know.
You can't say like they say, as a horror channel, like there's certain words now that YouTube. I mean, they're not banning you from saying them, but if you use them in your channel, like I've had people comment that
Yeah, that's
they
true.
do
It's
they do
true.
talk about mental health. That they talk about mental health, like if I
But
mention the
they
word.
tell people what to do. I don't do that. You know how some people say, take this, do this, do this. We just talk about our
Yeah,
feelings.
yeah, you can't. The only thing you cannot. I mean, I know. I mean, that's one thing I've seen people talk about mental health. There's one thing I will say this: I have never heard anybody say take this for that. Because you're prescribing something. You're telling them to take a medication that you're not qualified to say that. So no, you cannot do that. Because I do know that YouTube will come for you if you do that and if they catch you. Um, but I will say I will say this: there's certain words that like if you use like slasher or killer,
Yeah.
murder. Uh,
Yeah.
they don't like that. The word suicide, which to me, which is like, really, you're gonna get bummed out when people use the word suicide. So if anybody's sitting there talking about Suicide Prevention Week or talking about what happened with Bon Jovi yesterday when he stopped that woman from committing suicide, so YouTube's gonna come down here and and stomp on my views because I use that word. Now people say unalive. Like
Yeah.
they're talking about murder. Like a lot of the lot of the legal community, they'll talk about that true crime case, and yeah, unalive that dude. If they killed him, to say they murdered him, that's what they did, and you're talking about it. If you're an attorney, if you have legal expertise and you're sharing your point of view with us, freaking say it. It's felony crime. Trying to find the words, to fit in. I find that to be extremely frustrating. It's like I'm just going to call for what it is.
Hmm.
If you want to talk about that, if you want to talk about a hot case, a crime case, talk about it. Who cares? It's what you know. Do what you know. Um, has anybody in the chat, have you noticed that before? And have you noticed that if you use certain hot words,
Hmm. Oh yeah.
like even if you mention the word Trump, all of a sudden YouTube is all over that. And
I don't know. Mine do good when I put Trump in. They
yeah,
do.
you'll get a lot of bots too.
Oh,
I
but it
mean,
don't matter. That don't matter to me. And you know what? I don't get a lot. I would think sometimes I would get a lot and flooded, but I don't. I
you
get
can,
some, but I don't get a whole bunch. And
I
I'm
tell you what,
amazed.
I will say this for YouTube. Is we're sort of stomping on their neck a little bit here, but I will give them credit where credit's due. And man, it does seem like there are a hell of a lot less trolls out here.
Oh yeah,
I don't
yeah,
see trolls at all anymore.
yeah,
I can't remember the last time I
yeah.
saw.
Usually they try to bother newer ones.
Is
Is
that what it
what
is?
it is because they get flustered real because I was in somebody's they get flustered, they don't know how to block, they don't know how to all that stuff. So that's where they go, you know, to the
Yeah,
mall.
maybe that's one of the benefits of passing like a certain amount of people. When you pass a certain amount of followers, when you and I passed 1,000, all of a sudden I noticed that before you're out there trying to find subs, you're out there trying to find. After I reached 1,000, I didn't have to do that. They just come in. It's like one or two a day, or maybe one or two a week. But I don't have to really go out there and look for them because YouTube, for some reason, and this is the funny thing about it, is like, okay, so you're telling me all these people are now following me. Okay, you got 3 new subs today. Okay, so where is the traffic coming from? Where's the traffic? It's like when you get increased increased sub base, you think you should be able to you think you should be able to you think it'll be a lot more traffic, a lot more engagement. Not necessarily.
Mm.
Oh yeah, keyboard warriors. I call them right wingers myself.
Well, they're
Hey
just
Chadwick.
reflecting their own self. I always tell people that.
There's Kevin saying Jaden.
Yeah, Jaden
That's
is
what I do.
still.
That's what I do when I see Nora. I always go, Nora. Hopefully you're doing well too, Chadwick. Hopefully you're doing well. And Chadwick, you need to sub. Chadwick, if you're still here, don't go yet. You need to go over there and sub to this channel right here, Chadwick. And Mika and Kira right above you. That's Chadwick Whitmere right there, and he is a film director in his own right. He should be someone you should check out his content.
Mm.
He's got his first feature film out called oh god, don't do that. I knew it was gonna happen. Malcolm. See, I'm not dead yet. Malcolm. So yeah, I know. Yeah. But yeah, go ahead and check out each other's channels. That would be awesome. So the last time the last time you and I talked about, I'll tell you one thing I didn't hear you talk about, and I don't know if it's because by design or you're just not ready yet or you're thinking about it, but you recently lost your pet. Uh,
Yeah.
and have you been moved to talk about that? Are you gonna? Because I don't know how people do. I don't know if people actually do pet chats. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know. I was wondering. I wonder if anybody's done that because
Hmm.
people would receive that.
Yeah, because it's only a month. Yeah, because people have asked me, but I haven't really talked about it on my channel, but people have, because it's been what, about a month maybe? Something that you've had for 50 years. You have your moments, just like with if you lose a human being, you have your moments. And but the difference in an animal to me versus a person, because he had like dementia and all that, you could put your dog down, but you can't put a human being down. That's the difference. Because I really didn't want to put him down. Pat, he just, said it took him months, but I finally got it that he just wasn't my dog anymore. He was there. He was blind, couldn't hear, so
Jumping on the
even
counter.
the vet said the same thing. She made it real easy for me. She said, it's not your dog. It's
Yeah.
really not your dog anymore. He's just.
Do you think there are certain subjects though that people just don't want to hear?
Oh
Like,
yeah, yeah. Especially
like
if
a
they
lost.
just lost their dog. They don't want to hear that. There's certain subjects, but I will touch on every subject. I'll touch on it, and if somebody comes in my chat and it's something I don't want to talk about, we ain't talking about it. That's why I say you have to be strong when you're in your live. You have to control it, because then somebody will take it and yank it the strings. So yeah, but I talk a
uh,
little bit. Hmm.
Mika and Kira said, always tough losing our fur babies. We recently got 2 kittens after a long debate. It was tough losing our old
Long
guy.
debate. I was
Well, they
looking
got
at
two.
puppies today. Let me see if they'll show up on the
What, your kittens?
pet. No, I ain't getting no kid.
Your husband told me he wants a cat.
No, my husband definitely don't want no cat. I can tell you that. He don't
Uh,
want nothing jumping up on the. That's the only thing cats
you know
jump.
what? You know what? That's damn propaganda. I'm telling you
No,
now. That's
it's not.
propaganda. That is propaganda. That is propaganda. You don't ever see my cat ever jumping on anything. Propaganda, I tell you. You've been listening.
It's not.
You've been watching too much Fox News. All that propaganda. Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yep.
Lord, you better stop now.
Mm-hmm. I'm bringing the noise now. You know,
You better.
I just want to. I want you to get another puppy though, so we can actually do what we talked about before, and that is, I want to see him. I want to see him fly him like a kite.
Let's see if I can. I don't know if it'll show up or not.
See, I hope my music is okay for my channel because I don't know how to take from the show more box. I tried, and the links don't work. I don't know how to work that either, Jaden.
It's the one on the right. I'm
Oh,
thinking about getting.
oh,
That's why I got her. Got Colin from her. She's a
oh,
breeder
okay.
that's really the best in the
A
city.
breeder. Why don't you
Uh-huh.
adopt? Adopt,
I
don't
don't want
shop.
to adopt. I don't want. I really don't
Adopt,
want
don't
to.
shop.
I don't want to
Oh,
adopt, and you
you,
cannot make me feel guilty for it. I do not want to adopt. Hey, poocha poo poos,
that's wrong.
and you can't make me feel bad either.
You think all
Sure
those
can.
poor, you
Because
think all those poor dogs,
I'm the one got to take care of this dog.
all those poor
I'm the
dogs
one got
behind
to
the
feed it
cages.
and take it to the
Mhm.
vet.
Yeah, but
I'm the one.
there are the dogs in the cage that you could be rescuing. There are the dogs that have been abandoned that you could be a hero.
See what I'm talking about, y'all? Mind your business. Touch your nose. You're being nosy. Touch
You
your
know
nose.
what? If I had done that, we know what would been still going on. So be damn glad that
Thank
I had
you.
not
Yes,
minded
I
your
do not
business.
need to explain. And it's a hard call because I'm like, Betty, are you really, if I'm questioning, maybe I'm not ready to get another dog. Because I'm
I wish
really,
you know what you could get. You know what you could do this two things for zero. You could adopt a new pet and you could do it for zero. Why don't
I
you just
know that.
why
I
don't you
know
just
that.
get an alligator?
Because I don't want to.
Get an alligator.
Let me tell you about Colin. The
Get a
history
gator.
of him coming from this great breeder. I spent no money on serious bills for Colin. None. None. And
Yeah.
that's amazing. And I'm saying if I can get another dog from over there and she good, I'll pay the money. I got no problem.
Mm.
I'll pay the money. Yeah, it's gonna hurt my little budget. It sure.
I says I'm hoping I was hoping you get a gator because you've been taking pictures of the gators on your walk. I'm going. I said, when's he gonna bring one home? Now, have any of those gators come out of the water when you walk by them?
No, somebody said a baby one came out. And somebody else said another one came out on this other, and I know it's true because I heard somebody say it. But I don't walk in the park like some people. I walk on the outside perimeters. I don't walk in the park. I ain't that crazy. I might take all them pretty pictures because it's a pretty picture out tonight on the short. Them shorts
Man,
have saved me.
I'm
Them
always
shorts
impressed.
have
I'm always
saved me.
impressed. It's like because you know you have to tell people over and over, and they don't. People don't believe this too. When you tell people about Florida, when you sit there and you tell them like don't put your foot in a puddle, you know, and people just don't get that. They just like or just don't run in, you know, don't if you don't jump in the lake, don't jump in the lake, don't dive in the lake, don't do like they tell you, look, it's a creek. What could be in a creek? Don't put your hand in there and find out now. That's crazy, isn't it? Florida is crazy like that. You always have to look. There's so many different ways so many different wildlife there. What is the craziest animal that you've seen? Has it been an alligator? Is that the craziest
Probably,
thing? Yeah.
probably the alligator. But with doing the shorts, I've learned what I thought was a duck wasn't a duck; it was a coot. People were so nice, though. They talking about I didn't know that. And then the egrets, what I thought was egrets is white iris. I'm like, okay, I didn't know that. And then this other thing is Olympian. So I'm beginning to learn about the birds and all that stuff from them. So yeah, the podcast saved me. Today is 270 days straight I've done shorts.
Yeah, I got to get back into that. I know. I
I've
know. I
done
know. I know. You said doing shorts is
shorts is I'm telling people shorts is the way to go because that's the way of the world. You got to be
Well, I don't
willing to
understand. I
change.
do shorts.
You got to be
I do
see
shorts. I put my cat on there on my shorts. I really don't know why I don't have. I expect I'd get
because too
25,000.
you make them too long. Make everybody. This is a little secret. Don't make
See
it if
what I
you ain't
mean?
got all the pumping circumstances. Even less than 15 seconds. If the cat ain't doing that, make it 8 seconds. But fifth, but for
15 seconds.
yes, who want yeah, you huh, you'll
Uh,
see what
uh,
I
uh,
mean.
uh,
15 to 17 seconds, I would say, or less.
17 seconds.
Hell, yeah, you make it too long.
Uh, 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 did I tell you this? Did I tell you that me and Al are finally we're bringing it back together in October?
Oh, good. I like
Yeah.
y'all together. Hey, Al, you can come over and host my show.
You know what? You know what? That would be that would be actually that would
I
actually. You know what? You know what? You
know.
can probably get him. You can probably get him to come out and
For
hang
one
out.
show, but he works too, don't he?
Yeah, he does. He works
Yeah,
hard.
he works. Yeah, he works. So, and I'm
Yeah.
not going on later. That's another thing. Patrick said I get more people going. I said I don't want to go on later. I'm
You
good
know
where
what? There's
I'm going
nothing
on
you can do about that. We all lose that. I mean, like when we do the show, like I do the show here at 8 o'clock, right?
later.
I know, I know, I'm not. Most of the people like to come watch my show. I know they're East Coast. It's hard for the West Coast because a lot of people are still in traffic going home. So I
And I'm
get that.
sleepy.
You're going to lose somewhere down the line. There's no really sure way of like if you do it in the middle of the day, a lot of people are at work. But the good thing is, if you do it during the middle of the day, you get all your European followers. They'll come over and hang out with you.
Yeah,
Uh,
UK and
and I like that. But you know what? This is you can't. There's no perfect time slot to do what we do. If you do a live stream, there's no perfect time slot.
yeah, because
Just
you could pop up and get 20 people. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
you
yeah.
could pop up. See, Kevin can pop up and get 40 something. So I mean, pop up. We don't even know when he
Yeah.
coming.
No,
We don't know when he coming. Pop up.
I popped up last week for football. I didn't tell anybody I was going to do football, and I probably should have, but I didn't. And I still got a few heads coming over. I don't do pop ups very much anymore. I used to
Hmm.
do them a lot, but
Your working ones, people would that was you got good numbers on the working one.
yeah. But what happened was every time I would go do a pop up, then I would get Frog would come up there with a couple of his friends, and people just said I'm heading over to the Frog's place. I'm heading over to Frog's pad, and that's right. Let's go. What are you gonna start doing some more pop ups, Frog? And Jaden, I think this is the longest Jaden has ever stayed with me for a show. He comes by, he shows support,
Yeah,
and
because
then
he's in school. It's probably bedtime.
he's a social animal, so he goes around to other channels. But this
Yeah.
is amazing. I appreciate it, Jaden.
Hmm.
So what are you working on now? I mean, your vlogs. Like I said before, you think about doing product reviews? I think you'd be
No,
great.
you said that. I didn't say that.
I think you'd be great at that.
You said that. I'll keep it up here.
Because I just look at you and go like, if Betty Jean sold me a cup of water in Antarctica, I'd buy it.
But everybody in the chat, you got to remember, I'll be 69 in December. So my thing
Age ain't nothing but
is,
a number, right?
huh?
Isn't that
Huh?
they say age ain't nothing but a number?
No, but what I'm just saying about YouTube is you have to start asking yourself if I mean, it's like over the hill. I don't care how good or how bad or whatever, you over the hill. But I have to make a decision of if this is really, really, really what I want to do. I have to do I want to do something else with my life? So you have to, that's what you have to do.
I will say this, you're talking about going over the hill, running over the hill. I will have to say this, that when it comes down to navigating, going over a hill and going down it, cats are much better doing that than dogs. Just tell them. Just
But I
uh,
love being older now.
mhm.
I ain't gonna lie, because you got a lot of wisdom. You've lived through a lot of history. Just think, I was born in 55. A lot of history in my brain, So
We say,
I'm in the history of my neighborhood. I know every neighbor that used to stay. You know what I mean? So,
well, people such as yourself, I look at like their living history books. To
mhm,
me, what's really sad is like we have all these soldiers from World War II, and people didn't talk to them, enough. But if you
mhm,
get a chance to sit down and talk to them, it really is talking to. It's like
mhm.
listening to a living history book. Someone like yourself who's 69, who's seen what you have. Soon enough, you're going to be our history book, period, because our history
Yeah,
books as we know them are no longer going to be allowed at the library.
yeah. And
Did you know?
you have to remember too, even though I put out that short today, but I'm a Negro girl from the past, and please listen, I got something to say. One person could took that video. Okay, the other one did like 500 and something. One person can take that, share it, and then it'll just, because what I do, I make it short and sweet, and then say, okay, I forgot how I end it, but it's like I'll end it so I can go on to the next one. So,
I thought people would want to. I thought what people would want to see. When you said do shorts, and I did Paladin, and I'm going like, man, I'm doing this for underneath a minute, and I feel like if I saw the cheetah, I would want to see like 8 hours worth of him.
you want to see it. We don't want to see it.
What?
That's the problem. We don't want to see 8 hours of a cat.
Okay, I thought you were talking about my cat. I was gonna say,
Your
oh.
cat. I'm talking about your cat. We ain't gonna see no hour of your cat. I'm trying to save you.
Uh, uh, uh,
And be
yeah,
willing to change. Pat ain't willing to change. Be willing to change. Everybody in the chat. AI, honey, AI has helped Betty Galvers. I'm telling you, her name Dottie. Dottie be helping this sister out because the
using
world is moving so fast.
yeah.
It's
I guess,
moving like this.
I know some people use the AI. I see this ad for Grammarly on there and think, yeah, use this AI to help you out. And I'm like, well, you know what I used to use? I used to use my brain. That used to help me out. But
Yeah,
now I'm being told
yeah.
now,
But you
now.
still got the input into her
Mhm.
to get what you want. Okay.
What what
And
what
she
what
can
have you
and
used
she
AI?
can do it.
I haven't seen use AI yet. What have you used it on? Because I haven't seen it.
Who? Oh, I use it on my posting. It posts to Facebook, it posts to Instagram, it'll post to all at once. It'll
Oh,
post to X,
okay.
it goes to all the
So I
spots.
mean, if you're not making art of it, right? You're not making art, or you're not letting it write out your text. You're just using it to promote.
Okay, let's say with my shows. I put in the information, but I'm telling y'all this secret. I put I put in the information into Dottie, which is my AI assistant. And what she do, I'll tell her I'm having a live, and I put in like with Geeky Girl because please on your channels have a description, okay? Because Earfrog didn't have much, so all you people that don't have much in you, we need a description because I read all when I go to your
I think
channel.
Frog doesn't put much on his though because he's already famous enough. He doesn't want people to mob his house.
But Keisha had a lot. Now AI did all of this. I input the information, and she spits all this out, and she does my whole thing. She'll say introduction, segment
Mhm.
1, faith and family, segment 2, living a balanced life, segment 3, stepping out your comfort zone, and then question and answer and closing thoughts.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know if I've done. I think mine's actually. I think mine's actually rather pedestrian. To tell you the
Mhm.
truth, let me see if
Yeah.
I don't think mine.
Coming, he
I don't think mine.
42.
I don't think mine. I don't think mine's all that. I think I just put the basics on there.
40
Um,
year olds, they're starting to say that, Hobbs. They're starting to say that. And then age is a state of mind and opinion. Girl, 69 is just old.
I probably need to go in there. I still got. I got a little blurb here.
69.
I got a little blurb here, and then I got some. Yeah, mine needs to be updated.
It's, you know what it is? It's the vitality. It's what, there go Keisha. I just talked about you, Keisha. But about the state of mind, vitality. If you don't have your vitality and your health, then you age. Because I had something to come along about a month. Colin was part of the problem, and I didn't realize it, and I lost my vitality. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, now I know how people feel. Oh, I lost my vitality.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Keisha, thank you. Keisha, I talked about, she did. She had the perfect description. So if y'all don't have descriptions, because that helps people, please do. Because I read I used to didn't, but even before this, I was reading people descriptions because I want to know you when I come by.
hmm Yeah, that's what I do too. When I go, people ask me, they ask me, says, "What do you do when you get some of your guests?" That's exactly what I do. I go
Mhm,
look them up. I go read
mhm,
about them. If they have websites, I look at websites. I do all. Yeah, I do the same thing. I like
mhm,
the guy I'm going to be talking to later on this month. He's a Robert Kondo. He's
mhm,
based in Ohio, and he's a inventor, an entrepreneur.
mhm,
And
mhm,
I read about him, and I'm fascinated. I read his website, I read his backstory. I think he's
mhm,
going to be a fantastic guest.
mhm,
I hope I'm able to keep up. To tell you the truth,
mhm.
that's
You
really
know,
what I want to do.
the only thing too about being on, I'm telling it all. The only thing about being on other people's lives, like Pat, I know I could just relax. But some are gonna lie. Some people want me to run their life. I'm like, I came on
Yeah, yeah.
came on here to relax, and you right here making me work.
Well,
I've
I
had
get it.
that a number of times.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I mean that.
Yeah.
That happens. Sometimes I'll get a request to help out a buddy, and I'll go over there and I'll run a show for him, and something happens up.
Yeah, something
I don't
like,
mind. I don't mind doing that once in a great while.
yeah.
But I much rather just be a guest and just kick it. And let the host do all the work. It's nice once in a while.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice to be on the other side once in a
Yeah,
while.
yeah. Shoot. When I was on with Frog, this is the God heaven truth. We was on 2.5 hours. That
hmm
when I got off, I was literally tired because it takes a lot. Yes, it
Well,
takes a
Frog is
lot.
big.
No, I'm just saying if I stay on alive that long and I'm really now pop-ups, I don't. I can stay on a while and be, but I try to stay on an hour. I really do. I knew I was gonna do that with Frog. But I try to stay on an hour to 15 minutes because that's long enough
Oh
for
yeah.
my people
Yeah,
in the morning.
I tell, when I get asked, like, like, would you want to do a show? And I say, okay, what's the details? I'll say 60 to 75 minutes for outside guests. Whenever I interview a YouTuber, I can go up to 2 hours because that's normal for a tuber. I don't say I always have to, but I always I can go up to 2 hours, but I don't go past that. I won't
Mhm.
go past 2 hours for anybody.
Yeah.
It's just people won't listen to it.
Yeah. I got a homesteader coming, but she's not coming to the end of next month. I want to get
You got
some
a homestead?
homesteaders. Huh?
Yeah, I got one for you.
Well, you can tell me later. I'll
I
put it in
got
the
one.
chat because I would love a homesteader too.
I want to
I
get
want to.
more. I want to get more. It's an interesting life.
Yeah, because when you did that van man, that was good. I stayed on that night.
Oh,
That was
Marshall's awesome. Marshall's
good.
great. Marshall, Steve from Desert Adventures in Arizona, Tim, more bang for your buck. I mean, I learned
Mhm.
so much from those folks. I learned so much. And what's funny is I opened that door, before, even though Hobbs is a horror channel. But when I
Mhm.
first met Hobbs, he was transitioning. Well, he was transitioning. He was
I know, right?
he was he was transitioning from a van life to a straight out horror because he was Hobbs Ventures when he was doing his van life, and then
Mhm,
became Hobbs Horror when he did his horror channel.
mhm,
So, but I learned about the horror about the van life community. I learned a lot from him, and I got introduced to a lot of cool people after that.
mhm,
So I was able to. I felt comfortable enough. I could walk right
mhm.
there and hold my own as far as asking good questions about the van
Yeah.
life, what
You
it
can
takes.
hold your own now.
I mean, it's hard.
Mhm.
It's hard because the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to end up looking like you don't know anything. You know,
He
and
had
Lord,
one
Lord
guy
knows,
on here
Lord knows
though,
I had that problem already in real life. But coming here on my show, I don't want to do that either.
because he had one guy. I stayed on that night. He had an agenda, and he
Mhm.
didn't think Pat was as smart as he. I say Pat ate him up alive. I'm like, Mister, you can't. I stayed on that night. That man had an agenda.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
He
he did.
did.
I don't mind. I don't. I. You and I have been blessed too because you haven't had any problems with your guests as far as that goes. I mean, and you won't either. I'm telling you right now. I mean, I've seen with other interview channels where there's been stumbles or there's been some misconnections, there's been some misunderstandings or what have you, and it's sort of like fractured the interview a little bit. But I don't see that with you at
Mhm,
all. I don't think I don't think that's going to ever happen to you.
mhm,
Which was one of the reasons why I said you'd be so good at doing this because you can communicate with everybody. I
mhm.
mean, you say you keep on saying you're 69. Well, that really truly in your case is just a number. It's not who you. It doesn't define you.
No, it don't
69. Well,
define
so
me.
what?
I just know.
Yeah. So you can talk to somebody. You can talk to somebody who's 19 years old as well as someone who's 79 years old. You could
Mhm,
go either way. I
mhm,
myself, I'm not so sure I could. I have that gift.
mhm,
I'm not so sure I have that, but I
mhm,
do know. I do recognize when people do have that gift. Uh,
mhm,
and
mhm.
yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I really do hope that you stay with it too. I really
Mhm.
do. I think you're gonna have a lot of
Imma try and see, how it works out. I know the only what is it? Have you ever had a guest came on and just didn't talk?
yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's the
Oh
hardest.
my god. So that happened twice. That happened twice. It happened to me and Hobbs once.
Mm.
Um, we were doing the
That's the worst.
we were doing the midnight hour, and we were sort of looking for a co-host. And so him and I were batting back and forth, going like, "Who should we get? We got to get somebody to come in here." And I suggested somebody. I said, "I've been on his channel. He's pretty lively, and he's a gamer. So I know he'll talk. And so we go ahead and we extend an invitation out to him. Hey, come on to the show and be a co-host." And the person said, "All right, yeah." We got there. We fired up the show. Me and Hobbs, and our co-host, the guy, the gamer, the talker that's been doing lives like this. He was like this for like 95% of the show. That's all he did. He just smiled, and I
I
and
know.
I thought I'm going like that's stage fright.
I
Stage,
know, and
stage,
yeah.
yeah, he got
And
stage
I
fright.
have a friend that's a YouTube, well, he's doing games now, but we talk a lot on the phone. So I thought I had brought him on my show. This was a while ago. Well, probably the first year I did it. He came on and I'm like trying to pull it out of it. Boy, you talk on the phone all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard. That is hard. That's why I
It,
say lives are not easy when you really like you say if I get into the structure kind, it's not easy, you
no,
know.
and both like I said, both were tubers. And the other guy who did it,
I
you
didn't
could
keep.
you could have just you could went like this, and I would have fell flat on my ass because if anybody would have went up to me and said he's not going to say anything but one or two word answers, I would have
Mhm.
laughed in your face because that guy was like the most outgoing, the most, he does lives.
Mhm.
He's very well respected. He did a
Mhm.
he did a live show on Saturdays
Mhm.
from 8 to 11. He was a chattermouth, and it was awesome because I'm like, I can't wait to talk to him. I got him on the show. Oh my lord! I thought it became a dentist, and no one told me because it was pulling teeth to get him to say anything. I was so surprised. I'm like, why is this so hard? But it does happen. Um,
Mhm.
you will get people. Well, he didn't. I don't know. That wasn't stage fright. I just don't know. I just don't know
I
what it is.
don't know what his was
I
either,
didn't
because
know what it
he's done lives and stuff, and it was like
was.
maybe it was just my people. He
Yes.
wasn't used to them. I don't know what it was that day. How long has Double Feature Podcast? How long they been on YouTube?
Uh, they've been around for a tiny bit. Let's see.
I have to check them out.
You intimidated them.
Oh, I liked him. We like each other because Keisha know me. Keisha, it'd be like, oh, that's another thing, Double Feature Podcast. Let me tell you, girls.
Hmm.
Okay. As you go along, I don't know how long you've been doing this, but girl, you're gonna run against some
Girls.
people.
They're twins.
And girls, y'all gonna run against some people that gonna try to control you. I'm telling y'all, they gonna try to control you with money. Oh yeah, they throw money at you, and they think they can do anything they want to your channel. And Keisha sit back there, honey, you ain't. And I
Yeah,
had
you ain't
somebody
listening to
throw me some money and then say, "Where my wrench?" What you mean, where your wrench? You can take back your money.
where my rent.
Yeah, she
Who, who
did. As
said
soon
who
as she,
said that? Someone actually did that. Said they wanted you to pay
yeah,
their rent.
Keisha, no, she even beat up on Keisha. I said, "Oh no." But I do. I'm glad I worked in the business world because I knew she was going to leave because she was asking for too much, and I kept saying no. That was it. And I won't give you a reason. If I it's just like no, no, I'm not doing it.
Ah,
So I don't try to explain. And that's why I say when people in behind the scenes, when they come and they coming at it wrong, then they say, oh shoot, she's stronger than what? Because they see that smiley face. She's
uh-huh.
stronger than what I thought. Yeah, but they'll throw money at you, girl. I
Mm.
had money thrown at me. They should have thrown more at me, baby. She would have got the
I,
ring.
I've seen that on other channels, and a lot of them. I know one that happened where one used the money, throwing the money. He
Mm-hmm.
threw money, and then he had the agenda,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, she had
he
an
said
agenda.
a
I don't know
lot. He
what
said a
it
lot.
was.
Yeah, he said a lot of hateful things. So, he was homophobic. He was a bigot, and he was popping off in the chat. But he had given a lot of money, and some people came up there and said, "Hey, just because that guy's throwing you coin doesn't mean that
That's
he can get away
right.
with doing that shit."
Mm-mm. You
So
can't have
they had to come down on his ass.
22. Oh, y'all been here for a while, girl.
Hmm.
Yep, I only been here what 3 years, and
Well, we're gonna make it happen for them. We're gonna start pushing their channels.
mhm.
They got great content on there.
But
I've
the
been
only
dropping the
thing
link.
is, girls, I'm a horror person, okay? But I don't like the new horror stuff. I look at all the old stuff, Vincent Price, I
Mhm.
don't, you know what? Horror changed Rosemary Baby. To me, that's when horror changed. The little demonized and stuff start coming in and creep. Then you had the exorcist, the hit. I ain't never seen no exorcist and ain't gonna look at it.
Oh, you ever seen The Exorcist?
Damien, another one. I know all the names, but I ain't seen them. I ain't
Oh
seen
wow. I
them.
don't. You know what? Hey, you won't hear me say anything about that. There. No. You know what? There are a lot of people out there, Betty Jean.
Mm-mm.
They will watch Jason. They'll watch Freddy. They'll watch
Yeah, but they
Leatherface,
can take
but
it. I can't
they won't watch The Exorcist.
take it.
Nope. Nope. They'll go like,
Damien is
no.
another one, though. That's another
Which
one.
one? Which
Damien,
one?
Damien,
Oh, The
Damien.
Omen. Oh,
Mhm.
all for you, Damien. All for you.
I know. That scared me, girls. I'm
I
sorry.
love
That,
it.
Rosemary. I did look at Rosemary Baby though, the old one,
Mhm.
not the new one. The
Uh,
old one I did look at that. I think only about one time though, but I did look. But that's when things start changing though.
yeah.
It really did.
Mika. Mika. Oh, here's the homesteader I was going to tell you about. Here's Karma right here. She's a homesteader too, and definitely you guys can definitely hook up because
Okay, Louis April Farm
yeah,
Karma.
super
Okay.
super sweet, super
Yeah, I
sweet.
gotta start.
And Mika and Kira are right. She says that's true. Those possession movies are no for a lot, or no for a lot of
It,
people.
girl, it gets me. I'd be like,
I get it. No, I get
and
it.
there's a lot of old ones to look at out there. A ton of them. Old horrors.
Oh
Today I was
God,
looking at a
well,
horror
Cooper's
movie.
right about that. You haven't been to a holiness church, Betty.
I know
Borderline exorcism.
that Keisha, that Keisha.
But she's right. But
She's
she's
a
right.
let me tell you, Keisha is a smiler too, but honey, when it come down to business, you better be sister.
Yeah, she's right. She's right about that. There is a lot of witchcraft in those churches.
And I
A
don't
lot.
like the palm reading. Heather them do that. In fact, they got one. I don't like that. I told Heather I don't like that. I don't like no
Mhm,
palm read. And then I had
mhm.
went there one time before I knew what it was. And what's her name? Heather friend that came on your show that you
Oh,
like so much. And she was saying, Betty, let her read your palm. Girl, I ain't come here for her to read my palm.
yeah, I didn't let her do that either. You talking about Cassie?
Yeah,
No, yeah, no, I'm like, no, I'm good.
no.
She kept on asking me, "Do you? I can read you. I can read the tarot cards for you." I'm going like,
Yeah, the
"No, I'm good.
cars. That's what I
You."
don't like. The cars. That's what I meant, y'all. You can't.
I'm like, "No, I'm good. I'm good. Read somebody else's hand. You know, read somebody
Tell
else's.
the talking
You
about,
know,
I understand.
I'm with you. No, you're preaching to the choir, Betty G. Nope, nope. We all have our limits, and no, 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 I don't really like that too much. It creeps me out. Um, what are you doing for your channel this week? Who do you got coming up on Monday? I know
No,
you got
Wednesday.
a
I've
Wednesday. Who you got?
got Canadian Family Life. I've had
No,
Tiff before. Tiff is a talker. I've
okay,
had Tiff. Now in her description, she ain't have much in her description, so I'm gonna have to chit chat with her about that. But
sure, sure.
yeah, I learned a little bit about her in the chat. It kicked out something for me, but she didn't have a lot. But she's a talker, so it'll make it easy. I've had her before.
Now you just doing what we're doing here, right? You don't write down questions, do you?
I have a form. I want to do a format. What I had showed you. You know how you have an introduction segment. Yeah, I want to. Yeah,
Okay, okay,
yeah,
that
I
helps.
want to. I want because I will go all over the place.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know
I just
me.
well, yeah. Well, look at us tonight, right? But we knew
Yeah,
this.
well, we were gonna do this anyway, but just
Everybody knows
all,
us.
yeah, all over the place. So
That's just me. I get asked that a lot. You know, like, can you send me the question? Can you send me the questions so I can see them? Going, I would if I had any. You know, like I would. I just sit down. Listen, look. All we do, we just sit down. I tell them, I says, well, if you have anything you want to push, right? Because if there's anything special, book, guest appearance, convention appearance, new movie, or something, something you're doing for charity, or like if there's anything special, like I'm gonna be talking to one lady, and she's a dog rescuer, and
Keisha.
yeah. In fact, I should have you come co-host that with the dog rescuer. That's the dog. That's what you rescue dogs. But I know that So I won't. I got your ass. I, I got you. But no. But what I'll do for her is I will go to her and I'll sit there and say, is there anything special about that you want to talk about? Like, is there any event or an adoption event or something like that?
Hmm.
Otherwise, as soon as the light goes on and we just start talking, just like we're doing now.
Hmm.
Of course, you try to get a structured format going. You want to try. For people who for new people, yes, you want
Hmm.
to keep asking the questions. You want to keep going up.
Hmm. Hmm.
And,
I
and
don't
people,
want to do it like I did Frog the other day. That was just the old way.
oh my gosh, I love that though.
I know, but
But,
that's
yeah,
just
but I agree with you. I agree with you.
that's the
Yeah.
old way because I'm all over the place. And I know
Oh,
with Jamie, because Jamie couldn't make it that morning. And because I had sent her some questions so she didn't have to think long and hard about it. They were easy though, but
Right.
I didn't want her to have to think long and hard on them. And that's another thing. You don't know if people gonna show up. That's another thing. So you got to be ready. You got to be ready. And I knew about
Girl,
15
girl,
minutes. I knew about
do
15
I need to
minutes
show
before.
should I show the calendar?
I know.
Should I show all the crossouts I have? I
I
swear, if I had, oh my gosh, you can see some of the crossouts.
Yeah. And you do it so far out to saying that's why I got October 30th. So definitely I'm gonna have to and her name's Ernie. She's a lady. I love her. She's a homesteader. And
Okay,
she comes to 30th. So definitely, with me
cool.
doing out that far, I definitely gonna have to remind them. And
Definitely, more.
hopefully they'll you know,
I,
come at that time and
I,
nothing changes. Huh?
I really enjoy talking to homesteaders. I really enjoy talking to Karma. I learned a lot. I learned a
Mhm.
lot, and it's an interesting life.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
interesting,
Because I
and
had somebody was saying, because I don't go in your personal life. She was like, I don't want it, I said, I'm not going into your personal life. I
boy,
said, I might, ask you, a little bit about, your background, how you came in, but I don't go and ask you about your husband and you're chilling. That ain't my business.
not my
You
business.
know?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
No.
And I'm respectful too. For me,
Yeah. People
I
want to talk
mentioned
about that.
I mentioned let's see I keep up. She gave me some secret information. Yeah.
Oh, she talking about my AI stuff. It's from AI. Oh, she
Uh-huh.
got,
I know.
yeah. Lewis family saying something.
Yeah, she's saying I have questions written to keep the conversation because she's also an interviewer as well, Betty Jean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
She's an
gonna have to
interviewer as well.
write you down, sweetheart.
Uh-huh. I have questions written to keep the conversation going because I have a specific direction I want to go to. However, I also like the conversation to direct the questions. Yeah, I do
Mhm.
too. Like, there's certain things though, like when I go in there, like I generally feel like there's some things that are just off limits. You're right. I'm not going to talk about anybody's family or anything else. I'm also got, like I talk to a lot of actors and whatnot, and if they're trying to get away from something, like I feel like I don't want to talk about something they've already been asked about like 1,000 times. I won't ask them anything related to that. Even though that's what they might be best known for that. But I do that more with even now I read the room a little bit more because
Mhm.
I was like that when I was talking to one actor who was really well known for a TV series. I mean, he was really well known for it, and I went to him and I said, "Listen, I'll keep the conversation away from
Mhm.
I don't want you sitting here answering the same questions you've already answered 10,000 times." And he goes, the way I look at it is this. I don't mind answering those questions over and over again. And the
Mhm.
reason why is because you might have heard the answer
Mhm.
to those
That's what I
questions,
was gonna
but
say.
there's a lot of young people out there that come
Mhm.
in that may not have known about it.
Mhm.
So I'm
Yep,
always
I was
willing to
gonna
answer
say
that for
that.
them. But it all depends on the room though. If I have a room of young people, yeah, sure I could do that. But if I have a
Yeah.
room of people my age and they all want to talk about
Yeah.
Stargate, I'm gonna be like I'm sure we can find something else to talk about. I'm sure we can find something to keep
Man,
them
she
more
talking about
interested.
our age. She probably could be my child.
So I get that. I get that.
Oh, he could be my child.
Now, what's funny. Now we can actually do this. We can actually hear and throw down a challenge between three interviewers. There's three interviewers in this room right now. We got Karma, you got myself, you got Betty Jean.
Mhm.
Throw $25 in the kitty. So which one of us can get Scratch and Pete an interview?
Uh-uh. 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 I told Pete is off limits. Pete is like what was that? Charlie's Angels. He's Charlie. He will never be seen. He will never do an interview with
Yeah,
anybody.
but you know what? One of us has to be Bosley because
Mm.
Bosley did see Charlie.
Yeah, well,
So
everybody can't
one
sing
of
it.
us has to be Bosley.
He has to. No, Pete. Pete ain't coming. He. And Andre and me used to get into that. Andre talking about he. I said, leave
Actually,
Pete
you know what? I would not be surprised. Honestly, I think if Andre asked him, if Andre himself asked him to interview Pete,
alone.
I bet Pete would do that.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. Now he should know Pete.
I don't know. I don't know.
No, Pete.
Pete might talk to Andre.
No, Pete, because there's too many of us people out here. These YouTubers in these streets, it's tough. We need somebody we don't see and we can get a hold of.
Maybe Pete's Bosley.
Maybe.
Maybe he's Bosley. I tell you what, we have hit our number. I'm going to go ahead and we'll start thinking about wrapping this up with my very close friend Betty Jean. Here's my friend Casey just walked in, the mighty
Oh,
Casey,
hello, hello, hello.
king of all things kaiju and mazers and squishmallows. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, Casey's a great guy too. Thank you guys. Let me go ahead and drop this again just because Casey came in, so I can hit him up for this. So if you haven't subscribed to double feature podcast, please
Mhm.
take a minute and go over there and hit that button. We got them 3 yesterday for our interview. We got them 3 subs. I would like to see us do more.
They got Instagram too, right? I'm sure because they
They have
young. Oh
Instagram.
yeah, they young, honey. They
Yeah,
got everything.
I put an Instagram on top of the chat right there. So if you want to sub to them on Instagram, you can do that as well. Yeah, they deserve a lot more.
And you know, twins run heavy in my family. My
Oh,
great
really?
and it don't skip a generation. It don't skip a generation. My great grandmama had a set. My grandmama had a set. My auntie, she had 2 sets, a
Damn.
boy and a girl, and 2 girls. Then the twins set went on, and her children had a set. And we got. I'm so glad that didn't hit me. It ain't hit my brother either. It's bad. It don't skip a generation.
Mm. Oh, I've never had twins in my family, and I'm crossing my fingers about that. Uh, uh, yes. We have Instagram. Yep. Yeah. So
I'll
if you
find
guys,
you. I'll find you.
uh-huh. So real quick, while we have you guys here as a captive audience, I will let you guys know what's coming up on the channel because I know you guys don't want to see all my check marks for my schedule. I got one guest that I can mention right now because my friend Casey will be very happy, and then I'm going to try to talk him into being my co-host for the show as well. So in October, I got Ron Bonk, who runs SRS Cinema. He's going to come onto the show. So I'm going to work very hard to get my friend Casey to co-host with me because Casey is a huge SRS fan. He's the one who keeps him in business. All right, so this Sunday, the Midnight Society returns. That's right. This is after a long hiatus. The Midnight Society is back on Sunday, 8 o'clock. We will be on both my channel and on JT's horror discussions, the Cat and the Nat, and we're going to be talking about a Clash of Titans. Which comedy movie is the greatest? We're talking about Fast Times at Richmond High, and we're also
Oh,
talking about
okay.
American Pie. So
Okay.
JT is going to be talking about Fast Times, what makes that movie so great. I got American Pie. We'll be here at 8 o'clock and discussing it. Next Tuesday, the 17th, we'll be talking with Jimmy and Mike from Bacon is My Podcast. That's just an awesome title. Bacon is my pod. I love it. They'll be here at 8 o'clock on Tuesday, the 17th. On the 18th, we have the dog rescuer, visual artist, poet, and actress Laura Shodire will be here with us. And then I'm waiting till the last possible second because that's how I roll. Hopefully, we'll have our good friend, Annie Stott, will be here, and she is a folk rock singer, and she'll be here on the 19th. On the 21st, we will be having a matinee show Saturday at 4 o'clock. You don't know
Oh,
about all
okay.
that?
See, maybe I can catch that. Cause
Uh,
that 8
Casey,
o'clock.
I asked him to throw you a mazer. I'll throw in a mazer if you do it. So we'll be talking to Carrie Goodwin and Maria Paris at 4 o'clock on the 21st. They're in the show. They're in the movie Taken from Rio Bravo, and which is a fantastic Western film. And cannot wait to talk to both those ladies. Carrie's been on the show a couple of times. It'll be Maria's first time, and I'm looking forward to that. There might be a special guest for that show. I hope that he'll pop in and say hello. And that's what's going on next week. And then, of course, your show on Wednesday is coming up.
Wednesday.
9:30.
I have
9:30.
Canadian family.
What's her first name?
Tiffany.
Tiffany. Okay. So Tiffany from Canadian Family Life. 9:30 Eastern Time, 6:30 on the Pacific Coast. And it's not too early. Get up. 6:30. 6:30. You have to be up anyway for work.
That's early. That's early.
All of Betty Jean's social media is down in the description box below. So if you haven't subbed to her, get on over and do it. And then that'll be it for us. I want to thank you to chat for coming out and hanging out with us. I really enjoy you guys all. I hope you guys like what you're hearing, because I wouldn't be doing it without you guys. Appreciate your support, your share outs, and likes and comments. Really helps the show.
Before you go, I wanted to ask Double Feature Podcast. Do y'all pick up your phone on Instagram?
Do they what?
Do they pick up their phone on Instagram? Because some people don't pick up their phones on Instagram.
I'm sure they'll pick up. Yeah,
some people don't. Do y'all do Double Feature Podcast? Do y'all pick up the phone when it rings? Because I think it's tell who it is too.
Yeah, you and I talk a lot on the phone.
Yeah, well,
a lot.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
That's because he's special, y'all.
That's right. That's right.
He's special, because I don't usually do nothing after no 8 o'clock. This bedtime, I would have took my shower, done. Next time y'all see me, I'm still trying to think about if I want that dog or not.
Mika and Kira say yes if we know who it is.
I think they say the name though, don't they? Maybe I'll write it before I call, and it'll be in the thing that it's me.
Oh my gosh, you got to interview them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but see, they may work, and I interview at 9:30, so they may work.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know about their work schedule, but yeah. Maybe if they're free on a Wednesday.
They were with cutie pies.
Or you can always pre-record it.
Oh no, I ain't doing no pre-record. That one day a week. One day a week, because somebody was saying they couldn't do it because they work. Would you do it on the? I ain't doing it on the weekend.
Are you gonna have Frog on October 30th, the day before Halloween?
No. I got that's when I have the homestead Ernie Hatsfield, something like that. Hats.
Okay.
I have on the 30th.
Okay. All right, boys and girls, that's it for us. Thank you so much. Of course, you know what you do, Betty. Stay there for a second, and to chat, I say thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. Follow Double Feature Podcast. Follow everybody in the chat. Everybody follow everybody, and we will talk at you soon. Peace.